We're social distancing. Hi, babe.
Hi.
You social distancing?
Yes, take it literally.
Hi guys! Welcome to our very first
I don't know, our YouTube video.
YouTube video.
Or channel, whatever you want to call this.
So we are going to take you on a ride to go and see.
We're going to go see the Tulip Festival that Ottawa holds every year at Dow Lake, it's called? Dow's Lake. So it's a Tulip Festival that comes about because every year it's the monarchy of the Netherlands that sends over tulips in appreciation or in thanks for saving their queen back in World War II, who would have been captured and taken as a prisoner of war.
It's very hot and humid today. How many degrees? 29?
Yeah, it's about
30.
29 degrees today or so.
We have a long ways to go because we have to catch a few buses on our way to the Dow's Lake.
It's not even that far. As the crow flies, it's maybe 10 kilometers.
Yes.
But we're coming out of, we're leaving from Aylmer, where we started, and we have to take the road that travels parallel to the river and cut into Ottawa, and then catch another bus from downtown Ottawa all the way to Dow's Lake. And it's a bit of a journey.
Yeah, and for you guys, if you don't know already, we actually live on the other side of
Ottawa.
The river. River, right?
Yep, it's a river.
Yeah,
the Ottawa River.
The Ottawa River. So we would have to cross a bridge to go to Ottawa downtown. But we won't be going downtown today. We're just gonna cut across another bridge to go to the downtown. So we're crossing right now. As you can tell, we're crossing the river. When we go on the bus, we have to wear a mask. It's still very much mandatory. So when you're outside, when you're walking outside, you can actually not wear a mask if you want to. But when you're going inside like a mall or inside a building, you have to wear masks at all times. That includes also transportation. So right now, yeah, crossing to Ottawa.
Hello! We're on our way to go to Dow's Lake on bus 85, crossing over the bridge onto the Ottawa side. My wife wants to be in the sunshine or by the window, and yeah, it's not much to report. As you can see, COVID is still hard, hitting us hard. We're only one of a few people, about 5 people on the bus on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. It's 30 degrees, which is a little bit uncommon for May. So we're taking full advantage of the sunshine and the late sunsets, which go down at about 8:45 now or so. And not much to say. I'll tell you a little more later when we get to Dow's Lake. We'll see how pretty it is. Over and out.
Hi, babe.
Hi.
You social distancing?
Yes, take it literally.
Oh, it's nice and cool in the bus. There's not a lot of people today. No one. Getting off soon. All right, we're here. We just have to walk now. Oh, look at that! So cute. Look how pretty they are.
Let's show them why we came.
It's pretty. Every year, the Dutch will send this bulbs of tulips and they would flourish. They would start flourishing in in spring. I was gonna say September.
So we're nearing the end of this festival because I saw that on the calendar. We're on the 19th and it ends on the 24th.
Oh,
so this
okay.
upcoming weekend will be the last weekend to come see the infamous Tulip Festival here at Dow's Lake. We're at its height. We're in full bloom. I mean,
Yes.
we just came out of about a week of terrible weather last week. It was raining and cool. It was like 13, maybe 14 degrees. This week, since last Saturday or so, it's been every day's been above 23 degrees, and today is almost 30 degrees. So it's like summer has started for us in a way.
Yeah, it's
So
very hot.
the best day I think of the week to come out and to go see these tulips, enjoy the fresh air. And it seems like it's been a long time we've had a chance to do anything like that because of the lockdown.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're not alone.
They're so pretty. Like Steph said, this is basically almost at the end of the festival because, as you can tell, they're already full bloomed.
Actually,
They're
it
in
looks like
full
we missed
bloom.
the height of it, eh? They're sort of withering already.
Yeah.
Some aren't. Some are like beautiful, but some like these are already
Yeah.
withering.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is, I suppose. Some come out more at the beginning, some finish off at the end.
There's different kinds too, as you can tell. Like there's Muscari latifolium, Mansala, there's Columbus, Monte Orange, Mary Jo, Cactus, W in Pamplona. I'm thinking of the tulips, I might be wrong. I'm not an expert, but it's just so pretty to see. It's so pretty.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and gay.
And
I think this is lavender, right?
Right, yeah, I would
This
think
is lavender.
So. They have a smell, right?
Lavender?
They don't have much of a smell, but they look like it. I'm not a flower guy, but I would say that's a lavender.
I would say this is a lavender. I don't know, I might be wrong. Or not. Actually, might not be. Anyways, jadi sekarang lagi puncaknya musim bunga tulip. Kita datang pas banget 2 minggu setelah udah dibuka, like 2 weeks. It has been open for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Now, forgive my Indonesian, but I'll try. Ini sedikit rasanya kultur Canada di musim panas.
Yeah, well,
A little taste of summer is what I'm trying to say.
Musim semi ke musim panas. Right? Like spring to summer.
I mean, you know, we don't follow the calendar strictly in the sense that we say only from June 24th on or June 21st on it's summer. Summer for us really starts when it's just warm enough to be walking out in shorts and t-shirts and like this kind of weather where it's nice outside and you don't have to worry about being cold. That's sort of summer. So even though we're a month away from summer, I think most people feel like it is summer. Technically you'll say it's late spring, but
Yeah.
we're not splitting hairs here. Feels like summer.
Feels like summer meskipun masih musim baru awal lah.